bit about Dion Hunt, and then he'll tell you more about himself. Just to give you a highlight, Dion is the founder of, I don't know if it's co-founder, maybe your wife is, co-founder of Improving Life. And so we've hired him to help our team and us personally on several forefronts. One is our culture, to help us build a better culture with our people. So he's a coach, life coach, not so much the coach like we have with Todd Walters and Craig Proctor and all those guys, but he's more of a life coach. So he's going to help us with building a business with our culture in our business.
As Gaffigan says, lower your expectations. Jim Gaffigan, my wife and I went to his comedy act on our anniversary in August. We were married 16 years, and that's the first thing he said when he came out. I was like, this is awesome already. So, I want to thank you for bringing me on. It's an honor. I've been a leadership and life coach for 3 years now. Before that, I was a youth pastor and children's pastor for 10 years. I went to Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, served in a church in Florida and Sarasota before we moved here. My daughter was 1, and this is my oldest daughter right here. Her name's Sarah. She goes to Cadence Chapel. She's 12, almost 13. She's on the cheer team. I brought this out because this is a new publication that just came out in December, and the publisher asked our family to be on the cover, and they did a cover story on it. So every homeowner in Sevierville, this is either in their box today or it will be this week. So if you see it, you'll see all of our family pictures. It was a really fun project. They wanted to hear our story. This is my wife, Lynette. She runs a company called My Painting Party down in Pigeon Forge. She does the art studio painting. She does fundraisers for the public libraries, and she does schools, and she does private parties and all that. She's really talented in art, and she landed on that. I'm really happy for her. So this is Sarah from Sarasota. My wife made a funny song about that when we were leaving. You can keep the soda in Sarasota, but I'm taking Sarah with me. It was really cute. But yeah, we moved here 11 years ago. My wife and I, if you read the story, we've been through major struggles in our life. We've had major dysfunction in both sides of our family, so we brought a lot of baggage into our marriage. And then when we got married, we had a lot of work to do. If you're married, you realize sometimes you see yourself through the way you talk or act with others, and you can either change and get better, or you can kind of pass on what has been given to you. Well, we were very strong-willed people. We were very determined to change our legacy at a young age. And when we had Sarah, it really raised the bar to look at the dysfunction in our family, and we had to start really setting some boundaries with both sets of our parents, and they didn't take that well. And we faced a lot of internal persecution, really, in our family, pretty much disownment and really ugly stories. So we were down in Sarasota. My friend was graduated at another church that I was working down there, and he's saying, what do you want to do in the housing market? Remember when it was at the peak before the bubble? Well, we lived in Sarasota. I don't know if you're familiar, Siesta Key. I mean, you're talking top 10 places that just skyrocketed. A $200,000 house fixer-upper was now $350,000. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So right at that point is when I resigned, and I knew I wasn't going to be serving in that role anymore. So my friend told me about this area, and he said, what do you want to get into? And I was like, you know what? I need to step back from everything I'm doing. We need to kind of reestablish our family. I need to put ministry on hold and just get a regular job and just feel things out, restructure our family. So we came up here, and we came up for a week's vacation. We had a list of all the things that we were looking for, called a realtor, and we started showing us these properties. And we were dirt poor back then. I mean, we were dirt poor. So we were looking, and it was our first house, so we found this really little fixer-upper foreclosed home on Allensville Road. And it fit in our price range, and we're like, we didn't know a soul here. We didn't have anything to go by, but we were like, we're going to take this step of faith. So that was 11 years ago. So, after the past 11 years, since then, I started working. I became really successful at Dixie Stampede of all places. I was a server there for 5 years, 5.5 years. And while I was serving, I started going back to school for grad training to become a life coach. So it was a grueling 5 years to serve chicken. I don't know if you've eaten there. It's a real deal. Everyone that works there, like, it's amazing how much work they give out. But it was a great experience. I got to not only learn an industry, but I started becoming friends with Jack and Jamie and all the VPs and the GMs and all the managers. And they saw I was a really hard worker, and they talked to me about bringing me on as a coach at Dixie Stampede, and we started negotiating everything. And he said, what are your future goals? I said, I want to run my business. And he said, well, we want you here. And I said, well, I'll come until my business gets established, but I have a different path I'm going. And he didn't like that, so he wanted me to stay. So I turned it down, and I started really moving with Improving Life Center. You may see my story. I also run a basketball program called Tip Off Basketball. So on Facebook, we're always having pictures. Striker actually comes to our program. It's really fun. And then the other thing I do is I run family conferences called My Family Matters. Last year was our first one. We did it at Dollywood. This year, we're projected to hit about 3,000 people, and next year we're looking at 30,000 people. So this is an enormous movement to really educate and have fun experiences for families. And because of the past that we came out of, we have a heart for families. The last person I'll show you, this is my adopted daughter, Suri. 6 years ago, my wife and I were living on Allensville Road. I'm a server in a restaurant. My wife's not working. So just step back 6 years ago. And we talked about having another kid. And we really felt strongly called to adopt Suri. My wife went on the internet and found her, and it was going to be $35,000 to bring her home. And not only did we have to get her here, but she has major, major special needs. So when she was 2 months old, she was shaken as a baby, shaken baby syndrome. Somebody shook her one time, probably 3 seconds, and it totally changed her life. She's blind. She's in a wheelchair. She has cerebral palsy on her whole body, and she's mentally one. So she's 10 years old, and she's a beautiful girl. If you ever get to meet her, she's got a horrible face on this picture because she's usually very smiling and stuff. But she's the light of our life, and she really inspired us to be more. So right in the midst of all this stuff, we're stressed out, we're in this new foreclosed home, we're breaking relationships with our family so that we can start over, we're pioneering, we don't have any support here because we don't know anybody yet, we're just truly pioneering. God calls us to adopt Suri. So our stress level just went out the roof, so I hired a coach. And I was like, I don't need therapy, I don't need a counselor, I just need somebody to set some relationship goals and to figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up. So as I worked with my coach, it totally changed my life. And instead of somebody telling me how I should live my life, they started asking a lot of questions. And the reason I'm telling you this backdrop, one is to get to know me, because I'm not going to get to know all of you today. Over the next year, we have a contract to work with you, so hopefully we'll get to know each other. But I wanted you to know my story because you understand when we start moving forward my approach. And it's going to be asking you guys for the answers because you're the professionals. I am not a real estate agent, but I don't have to be. I don't have to work in the office because you're the professionals in each of your roles. And as a team, we'll come together and we'll pull out what kind of system that's going to work so that you guys can reach the goals that you guys have not only this year, but hopefully start a new system so that your trajectory can keep going into the future.
Hello, my name is Tim McCormack with Kings of Real Estate in Cedarville, Tennessee, and I just wanted to take a minute and discuss Dion Hunt, who has become not only a coach for our team, but also personally for me. Dion and I have been working together now for about 3 months, and not only has he helped me from a business standpoint, but tremendously as well from a personal standpoint. We worked on multiple issues in my real estate business as far as working less and making more, which is obviously something we all like to do. but also has helped me in the personal arena in several areas with family, retirement, time, relationship, and those types of things. One of the other things that Dion has helped me do is we've spent a good bit of time talking about one of the nonprofits that I'm the chairman of the board on. It's called Live It Ministries. And not only has Dion helped me work through some of the issues on board issues we have, but I've also now have Dion working with Live It Ministries for the next year, working on several issues with vision and mission statements, working towards our founders and executive directors, and also looking to take Live It Ministries outside the confines of Sevier County, Tennessee. So I just wanted to take a minute and say that that Dion has been a great asset to me personally, also from a professional and business standpoint. And if any of you are looking to potentially have Dion work with you in either individually or as a team or as a company, I would highly recommend him doing that. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to look at our mission and our vision statement. So this is something that, when somebody says, why do Kings of Real Estate exist? What's our purpose? I met with Tracy and Chris, and we were talking about, what is the vision for the company? We want to keep it short and sweet. Okay, so whenever we talk about your mission, why does Kings of Real Estate exist? Here it is: impacting others to prosper. That's what they came up with. So when they from your leadership, whether you see it as high up and then they're trickling down, or whether you see them on the bottom holding everybody up, because it really can go both ways. This is what you're about: impacting others to prosper. Now I'm curious, and I think they would appreciate your feedback. When you hear the word prosper, what comes to mind?
To grow.
Grow.
Making money.
Money.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Absolutely.
Financially.
What else? So growth, financials.
You can prosper relationally anyway.
Yeah.
Relationships,
Spiritually,
spiritually,
Faith,
good.
knowledge,
Skills,
skills.
you said earlier in your prayer about our souls prospering. What else do you think of when you hear, or what else do you think about when you think of someone else who's prospering, a prosperous person?
They're usually happy.
Success.
Happy, successful,
I think a good balance in life, especially with family and goals.
Standing
work-life
out.
balance,
Standing out.
standing out, good. All these things, this is your company. Because if you come to work here and this is your mission statement, what you bring to the table is how you treat one another. If we're tunnel vision on finances only, and that's what it means to prosper, and we don't care about relationships, and we don't care about anything else or anyone else, then that's what it means for that person to prosper. If we expand our vision and say, wow, prosper means a lot of different things. We have a holistic approach when we think about prospering. If you think about just a person, we're physical, we're spiritual, we're mental, we're emotional. We have all these different parts about us. And then you think about a system, think about a family system, getting along with your spouse, getting along with your kids, in-laws, a work system, co-worker relationships. You can prosper individually in many ways, and as a system, a company or a family, you can prosper in a lot of different ways.
Hi everyone, my name is Chelsea Warren and I am with Kings of Real Estate. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Mr. Dion Hunt and how he's helped me as my life coach. I've known Dion since before he was a life coach, and he is an amazing guy. He, for one, has a passion, and two, he really strives to help you in every area, in your business, in your personal life goals, and in your family goals. So he has helped me with my business to set goals for me to basically hold my hand and hold me accountable throughout the process. When I really didn't know where else to go, I felt a little bit overwhelmed, I needed some guidance, and he really has helped me through that. He not only has helped me in that area, but also personal life goals, and he's just a wonderful guy. You will not regret having him as your life coach, and I wish you the best of luck in your new journeys.
Finish this up real quick, and then we'll move into casting the vision with company goals and cultural goals in just a moment. But we wanted to bring the third tier in impacting others to prosper. So we talked about your team together, each other to prosper personally and professionally. Here's your question: who are you impacting? You could ask yourself that every day before you come to work. Who am I going to impact today? And that's internal. That's your co-workers. Clients. You're going to be providing clients with the, quote, wow service to reach their goals. Well, how are you going to wow? That's going to be your question. So you have something to focus on for your team every day. You have something to focus on your clients every day. And here's the last group that we are going to get to. I mean, think about it. Does it just make sense? If you guys are loving each other and supporting each other and just killing it together, and you're growing and enjoying and prospering personally and professionally, your life's going to be going up, right? You're going to have more resources to give out to your clients. Clients are meeting their goals, they're feeling satisfied, they're feeling like this team and this agent and this company really care about me. We're not only going to give them our business, we're going to refer others. So now the company's rising up. Now you have multiple people that are homeowners, and it just keeps multiplying, right? So then, from that awesome support system and work environment, your life's in balance, your work's going well, you're going to inspire others to prosper. How? By being more giving. Because isn't this all what we're talking about? You're giving. You come into work, you're serving your coworkers to grow and to prosper. You're serving your clients so they prosper. So that culture that you're creating is contagious. Who doesn't want to be around successful, prosperous people? I mean, if you think your definition of prospering, if you think of somebody that's at the ultimate level of prosperity, wouldn't you want to spend some time with that person and go out to lunch and sit down and ask them about 5 good questions? What if you become that person? What if you are the industry leaders in impacting one another and others? Somebody's the industry leader, whether it's documented or not. Somebody is. Why can't it be you? Why can't it be Kings of Real Estate? I'm here to say it can be. And if you stick to it, it will be. I believe that. It's going to take the day-to-day grind. Small wins will lead to great accomplishments. Look at this beautiful home. It didn't just pop in, right? Somebody had to lay the foundation. That's a small step. Somebody had to lay the floor. Somebody had to design. I mean, what we see on an aesthetic point of view is the grandness and the beauty and the colors and the architecture. But man, there was a lot of steps that had to be in place to have this. This is just one example. So as you are growing personally, little by little, professionally, little by little, over a long period of time, man, you have something beautiful. You have something rare. And it's really exciting that you can do this. So when we talk about our cultural values and goals in a little bit, this will make a little bit more sense of how, as a company, your leadership team is making a way for you to inspire others practically, but this is also a challenge for you to give of yourself so that others are inspired by this culture, you know? And I will say, when I've walked in your office, I get a really good sense when I'm in there. When I walk up to the front desk, when I've called. You guys sold my home on Allensville Road, by the way. When I sold it, we have a nice place over in the Enchanted Forest now, and we were renting out that home for a long time. We tried a couple different agents, and it didn't work. We tried selling it ourselves. We were very frustrated. We were very stressed about having 2 payments, and that's how I met you guys. That's how I came in. You guys got it done, and that's why I'm really happy to promote you and to continue to give you my business, and I promote you all the time on all my social media and my website. You're on there, and you know, I want to do what I can to say thank you, and I enjoy partnering with you. So this culture that we're creating, you know, this is really how simple it gets. You could ask yourself 1 or at least 3 questions every day. You know, you could make a business card and ask yourself. You could put it on your mirror. You could put it on your desk at work. Because this is what it's about. This is about being a part of King's Real Estate. And it was like ding, 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 ding. And I'll show you what happens in a minute after you do yours. But it totally changed our marriage because I realized when my peak times are and when hers are. And then I said, I don't want to ever spend time with her, quality time, unless I have at least medium energy. So it came from a personal thing. And the thing I love about this is, too, you can take this same chart and do it on a piece of paper or a napkin, or talk about it with your significant other or your child, whoever you want to enjoy more. You can sit down and analyze it and see how it can work for the 2 of you. And we'll get to that in a minute. But this is for you to look at in the context of work. You know, I have 6 a.m. on, and I don't know all your schedules. I don't know when you come in. I don't know how much you work at home on your own. Some have flexibility on some of your work, some don't. But I wanted to look at a general work environment. So what I'd like you to do, at each 2-hour increment, just try to be honest with yourself. Where is your energy at that moment? Is it like bottom level? Is it kind of halfway? Is it medium? Is it skyrocket? So just kind of do that every 2 hours and then connect the X's, and you'll kind of get a little chart on where your energy patterns are. So I'll give you a minute just to look at that and do that for yourself. So it's really fun. When I did this, I was like, okay, so this is who I am, right? That's who you are. It would be wrong for me to say you should be. You know, we hear our culture in America is early bird gets the worm, right? We place a value from early on that supposedly morning people were better. Well, that drives evening people nuts, because they know it's not true, number one, and it just that there's this cultural lie in life that everyone kind of goes with. I love telling a story. I don't know, some of you know Mark Lowry. He's a Christian comedian, and he is not a morning person. He talks about it when he's doing his comedy acts. But one time he said, you know, first of all, I hate, and he's a minister, so he said, I hate Sunday mornings. Because, you know, hey, Brother Lowry, how you doing? And he just smiles and just, you know, kind of says, oh, I'm doing the best I can. And then during the week, people would call him, and he got so sick of his parishioners calling him in the morning, you know, having this expectation, oh, how's it going? He's like, I just stay in my bed to work. Because, like, you know, there's this expectation of being involved. So he'd be like, Brother Lowry, how you doing? Oh, I'm in the Word. So it was really good that he could feel like he was getting away with something. So, out of curiosity, usually I have a unique graph that I haven't seen yet until today. Usually you're either a morning, a mid-afternoon person, or an evening, or you're a little bit of a roller coaster. Yours is a real roller coaster up and down several times, so I haven't seen that one yet. So this is where I'm at. So my energy's already coming down. And what I would like you to do is circle or either circle or put lines at where you're at your medium or higher. So for me, I would do this, and I would do this. This is what's called your peak performance. So, I don't know what's most important for you in life, relationships or tasks to get done, but wouldn't you think that this is when you should do the things that are most important? This is usually when you have your most creative energy. If you have to make a really hard phone call, you might want to do it at one of these peak performances if possible. Now, not always, we can't always structure our entire lives according to our sleep patterns and our energy patterns, but we can certainly analyze it a little bit and say, hey, what's going to be the best for my situation? This would be a really horrible time for me to make an important sales call or have a big meeting that's going to impact the future, right? This would be not the best time for me personally. So you can also circle when your low performance times are. And this is for you to kind of get creative with yourself. So if you want to put like a P for your peak or an L for your lowest, or however it helps you identify. And most of you already know some of these things about yourself, but you may not have actually broke it down this detail and be like, wow, this is really who I am. So whenever I'm meeting with people, with my clients, I'll usually do this because I want to know when their peak performance times are. And I try to meet with every one of my clients, at least at a medium or up if possible, because I want their best energy, because I want them to see their best results, and I want them to, if we're only going to meet once a week or once every other week for an hour, I want to make sure that's a good hour for them and for me, so that I'm serving them the best and so that they're moving forward in their goals. So back to my story, and it will relate to work as well. So I looked at this, and then I looked at my wife, and I was like, okay, here's reality. She sleeps till about 10 or 11, don't judge her. And she gets up, and when she gets up, she's pretty groggy. And then she'll come up about here, and she'll stay, and then she'll start peaking early evening. And she'll come down, and then she usually goes to bed about 2 o'clock. So that's her energy patterns. So when I saw this, I was like, oh man, no wonder we're having all these arguments after 10, 11 o'clock. So what it changed was I put where we both are at the peaks, above medium level, and I said, from now on, we're either going to go on a short lunch date, like a quick one, because the way, it's not going to be real long because my energy is going to drop. Or we'll try to go out a little bit earlier in the evening, maybe about 5 o'clock, and try to be done by 10. That way, by the time our date's over, that's when I'm slipping down. And it has totally changed our date life because we enjoy our time together more. And she's not as disappointed because I actually have energy when I'm on a date, which is good. And so then it got me thinking other things like, okay, so here's my trouble spots. When I was in college, I never even thought about it, but I would not schedule afternoon classes because it was the first time in my life I didn't have to be in school after I ate lunch because that's when I craft. And I was like, no more, I'm not doing it. And I would literally take a nap, for 30 minutes to an hour every day in college during this time. And for me, it's kind of funny. This is my energy pattern if I get a nap. 30 minutes is all I need. If I don't get a nap, literally still today, every single day, it'll look like this. I won't even get that evening boost. So when I have a date with my wife, or if I have a meeting at night, this 30 minutes is it's invaluable. Because I've identified my challenges. I know when my peaks are, but I've also identified my challenge. Now when we were eating, Tracy asked me, do you want chili or chicken noodle soup? I want chicken noodle soup, that's my favorite. But I said chili, because if I eat carbs right now, my energy is going to go down faster. So knowing that I'm being participating, I'm going to be here this afternoon, I can't get a nap, right? So I have to do things. I literally didn't watch what I ate, and I have energy packets that I took a little one during lunch, a product that boosts my energy to get me through. Some people drink coffee, whatever. But the point is, my strategies aren't necessarily going to work for you, and that's not what this is about. It's to look at, this is kind of my patterns, and coming up with strategies that work for you, whether it's personally so you have more energy, or scheduling so you stay away from some of these zones. Excuse me. Here's the other thing, observation. When I really identified this, and I realized sometimes from like 8 till 1 o'clock, you know, I'm at home and I'm washing dishes or something, doing laundry or helping out around the house. I'm like, wait a minute, this is my most creative time, and I'm trying to run a business. Why in the world am I wasting this time doing mundane tasks that I can't stand doing? Why don't I wait to do those when I don't have to think, or at night before bed? So that I can use my highest peak performance time when I'm ready to go tackle the world, use that to do the things that are most important, the most valuable things. And the most important things for me are God and my relationship with my family, so I try to build them in as much as possible, but it doesn't always work. Here to find out, 2 years ago, my wife went to a sleep doctor and found out she has a sleeping disorder. Her body processes light differently than the normal human being, so it's just delayed. And that answered a whole bunch of questions why she's on this late energy pattern. But it caused a lot of friction, and we've learned how to do the best we can, but it's still tough. I mean, I probably ate breakfast with my wife literally less than 5 times in my life. And I'm such a morning person. I mean, a great date for me would be, you know, at a hotel, get up and go down to a nice breakfast place, and I don't get that. Well, my wife doesn't get me lingering into the night either, you know, until 12, 1 o'clock and have a movie marathon. You know, we don't get to do that because it's not going to be fun for me, you know. It's not fun for her if I'm sleeping or, you know, I'm just not into it. So those are some of my observations. I hope that you can take something away from it. When it comes to doing something important, you know, I don't know how you can apply this to your specific job, but hopefully, you know, it helps you at least think about energy and throughout the day differently. And when you meet with someone, whether it's in your department or when you're investing in someone else, you know, it might be worth considering shifting a little bit or playing with the time that you do things to see if you get better results. Because all this time block management is about, it's about maximizing our potential. So if you're not all up here energy-wise the whole day, that means you got some challenges throughout the day. And how you strategize could really affect the bottom line in a relationship or a financial goal. Just making little tweaks. Again, the small little wins could make huge victories and impacts over a long period of time.